We're going to cover fact, opinion, entitlement, judging, critical thinking. And I'm also going to touch on something that I saw last night while watching Fresh and Fit. Shout out to those gentlemen. I'll be right back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm your host, Respect, and welcome to another episode of Next Generations. I hope everyone is doing as best as they can be under whatever circumstances that are going on in their lives. Last night, I was looking at Fresh and Fit podcast, probably around midnight-ish. And there was a young lady on there talking. And in their super chat, which is something that pops up on the screen that looks like a comment or a text, and they donate money to the channel, it said FAMU alumni. And it also made a statement about the young lady not paying her dues. And they hope that the journalism degree that she earned by going to school there as a student, because she's graduated now, that she uses it, implying that she's up on YouTube shows wasting her life. Now, mind you, that came from the university to a alumni, an ex-student that graduated with a journalism degree. The young lady did. They had her full name up there and everything because she mentioned her name earlier in the show. And they definitely was talking to her because they put her full name in the comment. And her and the other young lady that came up on the show together, both of them are FAMU grads, commented that their dues were paid for and taken care of already, which to me is neither here nor there, because the college is a representation of professionalism and respectability in that city of Tallahassee, Florida, in the state of Florida, and a reflection of the country as a whole when it's going up against other universities and colleges and post-secondary education all around the world. So I would inquire FAMU to apologize to the young lady, because that was very unprofessional and could possibly be detrimental to her moving forward in careers with the type of slanderous, statement that was. Also, the young lady noted that she was using her journalism degree right now in present day as I speak as an intern for Warner Brothers. So, FAMU rattlers, you basically bitch yourself. You bitch yourself, fam. You. All puns intended, I guess. We have to tighten these things up. And it is a historically black college is what FAMU is known for. Or not even known for. It actually is a historical black college university, And I am an African American, so that does bother me. We have to do better. We make mistakes, but we must correct them. This one should never be made. I'm not saying anyone should be fired or anything. I don't know how deep that goes as far as their hierarchy and educational infrastructure. But it definitely needs to be rectified with the young woman, because that was uncalled for, egregious. And who is running your social media system to where they're up at 12 midnight, whatever, 1 a.m. watching Fresh and Fit podcast when they explicitly have shown that it's an after dark show and they talk about adult topics. And this particular night, they was talking about sexual things, and so on and so forth. Very explicitly, by the way. So I don't understand why the alumni would even put a comment in. And they paid the show to put the comment up there, because a super chat is monetary donation to a channel for the content creators that you're watching on YouTube. The Alumni Association, they literally paid for her comment to be seen. We must always factor in intent as best as we can in critical situations. Let's proceed. She could see it and be embarrassed by it, to be just completely honest with you. Because at the time, it was approximately like 12,000 viewers watching the podcast. And then after Fresh and Fit put the podcast out on YouTube, it's going to probably get at least 500,000 views or going toward that number, a ridiculous number, you know. So FAMU should rectify this, and all the other professional establishments take notes of these things. Things are a little too loose as far as professional, morally, and so on and so forth right now going on throughout the whole world, and definitely in America. We need to get the reins pulled in on these things. We must be the best that we can be at all times. Shout out to Myron and CEO Fresh, or Fresh CEO, on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Appreciate you guys and the things that you're doing, even though I don't agree with everything, you know, but I still appreciate watching brothers do their best to help everyone with the best they know how. Moving right along. Today's sources of reference and information will be Black's Law Dictionary, the Longman Dictionary, and I also will be reading an excerpt from Richard Paul, circa 1990, entitled Critical Thinking: What Every Person Needs to Survive in a Rapidly Changing World. Richard W. Paul is the writer, edited by A.J.A. Binker, Center for Critical Thinking and Moral Critique, Sonoma State University, Rohnert Park, California. And I will be reading an excerpt from chapter 4, titled Critical Thinking: What, Why, and How. But before I get into that, I'm going to go ahead and give you the exact definitions of fact, opinion, entitlement, judge as a verb, and critical thinking, which is pretty self-explanatory because it's two words, critical and thinking. But let's take a quick break, and I'll be right back. Thanks for still being there. Quickly, let me go ahead and give you all the contact information. That way, if you have any ideas or you just want to say hello, you could go to Twitter, Next Generations. The Twitter handle is @NextGenShowHost. You can also contact me on Instagram @TheRealRespect, TheRealRespect, The Real Respect. Facebook page is Next Generations. The Facebook handle is @NextGenerationsShow. Check out the merchandise, the artwork, my photography on TeePublic and on Redbubble. NextGenerationsteepublic.com. You got Redbubble.com, and it's going to be Next Generations also. And if you would like to support on the channel and support the pod, you could do that two ways right now. I have CASHAPP set up for it. Next Generations CASHAPP. It'll be the money sign, Respect Facts, RESPCTFACTS, money sign, Respect Facts for the CASHAPP. And for PayPal, it is PayPal.me/Respect Facts. That's PayPal.me/Respect Facts. We also have a Facebook page dedicated to the podcast and the show called Next Generations. Shout out to all the birthday people for the month of June, July, and August. Happy birthday to my sisters, June the 20th, July 31st. Happy birthday to my mother. She was June 11th. Happy birthday to my nieces, my cousins. Congratulations to my cousin for getting married. And congratulations to her husband also. Hope to get to meet you soon, brother. And anybody else that I'm possibly forgetting, I do apologize. Now, let's go ahead and get into this. Fact. Fact is something that is true and can be proven. We know if it's true, it's considered a fact. Okay? Opinion. Opinion is countable or unaccountable ideas, beliefs about a particular subject. We also have entitlement. In general, that which is entitled. Old age pension, social security, unemployment stipend, stating a distribution or privilege or right to an economic benefit, typically granted by contract or law. Meeting the required qualification triggers the entitlement. Number 2, reference to a precedence or established procedure defends a right or claim. Number 3, benefits to members of a particular group in a government scheme. And number 4, offer to the holder of a security or physical transfer of cash or stock shares as a payment. Opinion and entitlement are the definitions from Black's Law Dictionary, and also judge is from Black's Law Dictionary. Now, with judge could be a noun or a verb. Of course, the noun is an actual person, place, or thing. Okay. And judge as a verb is what we'll be talking about, which is opinion. Intransitive or transitive. To form or give an opinion about someone or something after thinking carefully about all the information you know about them. That is the definition of judge.
And I stand corrected. It is the Longman Dictionary for the definition of judge. And it was Black's Law Dictionary for the definition of entitlement. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the critical thinking definition. We're going to break it down with the critical definition, and then we'll do the thinking definition. According to Longman's Dictionary, we're using definition 2 for critical, which is synonymous with important, crucial. Something that is critical is very important because what happens in the future depends on it. That's pretty heavy right there. And then next we have thinking. Now for thinking, we're going to go back to Longman's and we'll look up think, because I believe think is a derivational suffix, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, we'll look up think and then we'll see what it says for the definition of thinking. To use your mind to decide about something, form an opinion, imagine something, etc. An example, she sat thinking deeply. So you got critical and you got thinking. Pretty much self-explanatory. And I'm gonna tell you guys why I feel it's really important that I let you know what my sources are, and that more important, that we're on the same page as what these words mean. Because the words that I'm using in this show and going forward, pretty much every episode, is very literal to what their reputable definitions are, not what the popular term is, not what something people want to make them to be, but as if you was in a court of law, as if you was in a corporate setting, as if you was anywhere where words had to say what they mean and mean what they say and be the definition of what they are, which should be in our everyday vernacular. Our everyday communication with each other should be with definitions that are basically the same, or else how are we really understanding each other when we're communicating to each other? So let's be very clear. We need to get a grasp on definitions of words, especially popular words that everyone uses, because the more I talk with people, the more I see that we could all use the same word and is with 3 different definitions, meanings, or whatever it is. And that's just not going to work. That's just too confusing. And there's a lot of misunderstandings. And I want this show to bring clarity to misunderstandings so we could get some understandings out of all of these misunderstandings that's going on. Like I said in my previous podcasts and previous shows, I truly know that understanding is key to a lot, if not all, of the problems that we're having. We can't get nowhere close to a solution if we do not understand each other, and if we do not understand the basic words that most Americans use to speak with in English. Think about it. That makes no sense at all. We all use basically the same words on a daily basis, but yet it takes on different meanings depending on who's saying it. How do we ever supposed to have any kind of conducive conversations? Alright, so y'all rock with me. Y'all be patient with me, because this is for not only for me to grow and learn, but for you guys listening. And also where if, like I said before, if you know pretty much all of these things that I'm covering, share it with somebody else, because I guarantee you it's more people than you can imagine that don't know what you may know. Okay? We shall proceed. Matter of fact, we're going toward 20-minute mark. This will be a part 1. In part 2, I'll break down critical thinking, and we'll just get into it from there. Please check out everything that was on the Instagram, from my Twitter, my Facebook page, all Next Generations, usually for the title of everything. Please check out the Next Generations TeePublic store, Next Generations Redbubble store, The Real Respect Instagram, Next Generations Facebook page. Okay? I love you guys. I love you, world. Oh, man. Well, we got a lot of work to do.